was the opposite.
And he wrote about it later that that ship was like a tiny matchbox just being tossed.
The pain was so severe. I was attacked by heart attack while on the sea twice. 2 nights. And I was very much afraid that on the 3rd night, if this night was again some pain like that, then I died.
The captain of the ship was appreciating that if the Atlantic Ocean had shown its usual face, perhaps he would have died. And he had a dream that Krishna was rowing that boat. Perhaps in the most discouraging time, Krishna gave him a vision, some sign that perhaps there would be some success to his mission.
So when I was on the sea at Boston port, I was thinking that I have come here, I do not know what is the purpose. Because how the people will accept this moment. I was thinking that I will propose something which is impossible. Anyway, let me try.
The Swami was a friend of my husband's father, Mr. Agarwal, in Agra, India. And he asked me to sponsor the Swami, and that's what I did.
We didn't really think anything would come of agreeing to this proposition. I called my husband at work and I said, Gopal, honey, sit down. We just got a letter, and the Swami is going to come to Boston in 4 days.
The Swami came with so few possessions. He came with the clothes he had on his back, he had a typewriter, and he had his books. And he had a bag of cereal. Imagine coming to a country on the other side of the world with so little.
For his first night in America, he slept on the couch. Next morning, the children came downstairs, and they were in shock, looking at this scary man with orange cloths on him. He loved the children. He played with them, and I could see it was a true love for them, not just fake stuff. Kamla, the older kid, she called him Swami Jesus, because we call him Swamiji. We thought that was so funny. He was a lot of fun, too. He would go shopping with me at the supermarket. He loved walking through the aisles. And of course, the people stared at him. Every day at 9 o'clock, he would begin to prepare his lunch. It only took me one time to realize that we would like that lunch too. So the kind man he prepared our lunch every single day.
Although it was a small county, I was very much in Gladden. There were so many churches, and I spoke in many of the churches there.
Lord Jesus Christ, He is the best Son of God. We have all respect for Him. Yes. It does not matter in which country and which atmosphere He was preaching.
Jesus Christ is a devotee, so one has to associate with the devotee before realizing God. But it is not that God has got only one devotee. If God is unlimited, He has unlimited devotee love.
He stayed with us for a month in Butler, and I learned, over the time, I learned to love him as I would a father-in-law. I enjoyed my association for that 1 month with him about as much as I've enjoyed anything in my life.
I was just so sad to see him go. See, his Swami, he gave him the job, he told me, of taking the holy book, the Bhagavad Gita, something, I can't pronounce it, translate it into English for the English-speaking world. He was going to New York. It was going to be winter. It was going to, cold weather was blowing already. And I thought, oh, that man, he doesn't have a coat. Nothing to protect him from the weather. He was going on an overnight bus. I'd be scared to go to New York myself. I remember I just could hardly say goodbye to the man. I felt so bad, I cried.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So we're all going to move over here, and we will. Where is the Anarti now? An offering, singing Janilo. Yes, Prem, can we get Janilo up on the screen? Okay. Rukmini's going to sing. Stand for Rukmini and give her come and play the harmonium for Rukmini? Prabhu? There's all the support staff here. Baladev, please come and set up the mic for Rukmini, Devi, and support with harmonium and Mridanga.
sangana paya kande narotamada se saba sangira sange Jayani lo premadana karuna pracho Jayani lo premadana karuna pracho Eno Prabhu kota gela charya tako Eno Prabhu kota gela charya tako Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Etai Gaur Haribol, Haribol. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Adi Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Mayapur Dham ki jai. Gangamayi Jamunamayi ki jai. Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jai. So, let's just circle up. Come in a little closer or stay where you are. If you all please just take darshan of Srila Prabhupada. The decorations, the vases were done by his disciple Rukmini Devi. And with help from Lakshmana, who is always there, creating beauty. Prabhupada loved flowers, and he told the devotees that that Krishna loves flowers. So I think Rukmini kept that in mind as she was planning to honor Prabhupada. Prabhupada is the founder Acharya, which means he is everybody's guru. And we have some devotees here this evening for the first time, some guests and visitors. Some of us have known Prabhupada for a long, long time. So I was just listening the other day to a recording by Sachinandan Swami, and he said a disciple asked Prabhupada one time, "Will we see you in the spiritual world?" And Prabhupada said, "Yes." Sachinananda Swami said, at least when he heard Prabhupada say this, or he heard about this or read about it, the Prabhupada said, "Yes, I will be placing your hand in Krishna's hand." Very beautiful, right? So how personally involved Prabhupada is, and as a founder Acharya, he is not only, we have some of his wonderful disciples, direct disciples here, but the founder Acharya means that those of us who are grand disciples or great-grand disciples, we have a relationship with our guru, but we also have a relationship with Prabhupada. And that is said that the grandparents, now that I am one, are more merciful than the parents, and the great-grandparents are even more merciful. So that's Prabhupada for all of us. And I'm going to share the mic in a moment, and I really, really want all of you, we're not recording this, we just want everybody to share from their heart if they can. When I became a devotee in 1982, it was because of the book Prabhupada Lilamrita, where I read about Prabhupada, and I had read lots of other books about philosophy and different philosophers, but I was so taken with Prabhupada as a person. And then I read the Gita, and that was it for me. But shortly after that, I had a dream, and Prabhupada came in my dream. I was living in Arizona, and I had an apartment, and I had a little altar. And on the altar were pictures of Krishna. And then I had placed a rose on that altar, and that rose had dried up, as roses do. But when roses dry up, they still look beautiful. But this one was kind of bent over. And in my dream, Prabhupada was facing the altar, and I was behind Prabhupada. And I was looking at Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was looking at the rose on the altar. And then I looked at the rose, and that rose lifted its head and bloomed. It just came to life in that dream. Yeah. And I woke up, and I was like, whoa, like I had goosebumps, right? But I understood this is what Prabhupada does. He brought me to life, and he brings us to life. And in my better moments, when I remember that I'm actually stuck in this material world, a prisoner, and caught in this, so influenced by the material energy and so covered. And then when I remember that, I feel so much Prabhupada's shelter and his long arm pulling me out. And so I remain every day. It's really inexpressibly grateful to the doors that Prabhupada has opened in my life to go back to the spiritual world. Hare Krishna. So, we can start with a Prabhupada disciple. Oh, not now. Do we do Pushpanjali at some point for the Disciplines Day, or do we just offer the flowers? We do a Pushpanjali. Yeah, okay, let's do that before. Let's do about a half hour and then we'll do Pushpanjali, okay? As long as we pick him up right away. I have you so well trained. He was worried that I was worried about the rose petals on the marble. Would you like to say a few words, Palaka Prabhu? Or Lakshmana Prabhu? Rukmini Prabhu, they're pointing at you. It's a really lovely seat here. If you can come up so you're facing everybody. The rest of you we can speak. Or I can walk the mic over to you if you're more comfortable doing that. Rukmini is this wonderful senior.
Yeah, while you were speaking, Ananda, I was reminded of one God sister, disciple of Prabhupada, who began following some other guru. And Prabhupada came in her dream, and there was a gate, and it was locked, and only Prabhupada had the key. So that was really special. So, so this is the 48th anniversary of the day Prabhupada left this world. And Gauravani is 48, and he was a baby, and I used to bring him to the temple in the morning, and he was sleeping, and an announcement was made. I was in Los Angeles, an announcement was made that Srila Prabhupada had left. And we were just all so devastated, like orphans in the storm. And I think about it, Krishna must have been hearing the tears of devotees all over the world, crying. Some devotees just locked themselves in a room and didn't come out for days. But we were crying, and I think we still have to cry. And but Prabhupada wrote on the title page of his Srimad Bhagavatams that he brought, as we saw in the film, he brought those 3 treasures. He didn't want to come empty-handed, so he wrote on the title page of the first canto, first volume, that an offering to his guru, that he lives forever by his divine instructions, and the follower lives with him. So if we don't want to be orphans of the storm, lost at sea, I think we each need to be really praying in gratitude. What would my life have been if Srila Prabhupada hadn't come, if I hadn't connected with his teachings, either as his disciple or grand disciple, or maybe some of you maybe just walked in the door today for the first time. What would my life have been? So I think we have to be grateful to Lord Chaitanya for giving the order that his name should be chanted all over the world, and we have to be grateful to Prabhupada's guru for asking him to come to the West. And isn't it amazing that Prabhupada came and met us where we were, in New York, in San Francisco, in Russia, in China, and nobody was listening to him in India. So then he would say to these big industrialists, "You have 5 sons. Why don't you give me one to help me with my mission?" No, nobody. So then he had to go back to India to get all the people in India who are now so jubilantly following Prabhupada's mission. So, we have to really meditate on a day like today
on what is it I'm grateful to Srila Prabhupada for, how has he changed my life, what would my life have been if he hadn't come? And I was thinking today of such a dismal destiny I would have had. You know, just like, I mean, I can speak for myself, like lemmings just running over a cliff, an abyss. You know, what would our lives have been without Prabhupada? So how can we keep him alive forever? How can we please him? He said, if you want to please me, then cooperate together. So that's one key instruction. But I think it's also important to reflect that he expected us to taste what he's tasting. He was giving us the highest fruit from the highest tree, the sweetest Krishna Bhakti Rasa, the taste of Krishna Bhakti. And he expected us to be conscious. He called this the Krishna consciousness movement. He expected us to not be sleepwalkers, zombies, robots. He expected us to wake up and to taste the treasures that he came. He struggled, 2 heart attacks on the boat, then more struggles in New York, inconceivable starvation, homelessness. You know, having his typewriter, his one treasure, his typewriter stolen by the janitor in the building. You know, so just one after another after another. So, he expected us to become conscious, to wake up, to taste this treasure of Krishna Bhakti Rasa, and share it with others, you know. What does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? So many of us know this verse, that just try to approach someone in knowledge. He can give you knowledge because he has seen the truth. And then I think the next verse is so urgently important. And what is that truth? That all living, Krishna says, all living beings are in me and are mine. So to share it, you know, whatever you're tasting, whatever gift you feel like you've received, share it with everyone you meet in a way that they can receive it, you know, because every living being this is way beyond the United Nations Statement of Human Rights, right? This is every living being is Krishna's, his and his beloved. So I think this is what Prabhupada's asking of us, and I think we pay it forward. We show our gratitude by paying it forward. So thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for coming. Thank you for accepting all of us from everywhere. Hare Krishna.
Lakshmi Prabhu, Bhaktivinoda Prabhu, Haridas, Palaka Prabhu, would you like to share a few thoughts? Would you like to sit up here so that we can all see you? Thanks.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Can I sit?
Yeah, please sit. Yeah. There's just a few temples that have, well, I guess there's a number of temples, but we're really blessed because we have Prabhupada disciples who, and you actually got initiated here, right?
Yeah.
Initiation from Prabhupada
First and
right
second,
here. Well, not in this building,
but
it's
the old
down
temple.
in the old
Yes.
district, right? No, right here.
Yeah, no, here. I joined it briefly, but got initiated. So it seems the theme tonight is, where would we be right now without Srila Prabhupada, without his mercy? And something really interesting happened to me that I know Srila Prabhupada made this arrangement. We had an art gallery in Annapolis, and I was in this mood of making a lot of money, making a lot of sales, and that was my main focus. And one day, this little man walks in. I'm in the middle of a big sale, and he says, "Can I see your hand?" And he looked like he was from India, so I'm like, "Sure, you can look at my hand." And he looked at my hand, and he said, "I was sent here to tell you this. I'm from a family of Christian mystics, and I was told to come see you and tell you that something happened to you when you were 20 years old, and if it didn't happen, you'd be dead right now." But I was so engrossed in making money, and everyone was saying yes that day, that just kind of, oh, that's pretty cool. I said, "Are you from India?" He goes, "No, I'm from Kathmandu." And he said, we're Christian mystics, and I've been to the tomb where Jesus Christ is buried. And I said, really, that's interesting, because my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, said that Jesus Christ didn't ascend into heaven, but he went and preached, and he ultimately left his body in Kathmandu. And then the guy said, well, I see you're busy, but I just wanted to remind you that I was sent here to tell you this. And then as soon as he walked in, he disappeared. He was this little short man. So I went back to making money and everything, and the next day I'm taking my shower, and I have this, like a dream in my shower that I'm dying. And my family's crying, my best friends are crying, my brothers and sisters are crying. And I'm like, wow, what was I doing when I was 20? I got initiated by Prabhupada. And he said, had that not happened, I'd be dead right now. So I had this vision of my not my actual death, but my funeral. And I came to the conclusion that my marriage wasn't going to last, which an astrologer had told me anyway, it's not going to make it. But I was so in love with my wife that I was devastated. And I did something foolish. I probably got intoxicated and drove the car, and I died in a car crash. And another astrologer told me, be very careful when you drive. There's some things that could happen when you drive. But I realized that ultimately it was Srila Prabhupada who sent this man to remind me that don't get so engrossed in making money and doing all this stuff, because all that's temporary. But really, your real mission is to be a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, to do something spiritual. And after that happened, then I decided that I should actually repay Srila Prabhupada somehow. I used to be a book distributor and one of the top in the world and distributed so many books, but then that era stopped. And I realized I have to catch up. I have to do something to please Srila Prabhupada, to give lots of books to people all over the world. And I decided to start printing these on chanting Hare Krishnas for Srila Prabhupada. And it started out with, 100 of them, and then 200. And Rupanuga said, Palka, you say you're going to do this, so why don't you really do it? I mean, do something big. So then it's like, okay, it went from 50 to 500 to 1,000 to 1 million, and right now we're over 7 million. But that's how we have to repay the debt, because where would we be? Any of us, even if none of us even heard about Hare Krishna, but if we hadn't had Prabhupada come to the West, really, where would we be? What kind of mess would our lives be? Or maybe, there's a bunch of devotees here that are from Indian backgrounds and they have some culture, but as far as the West goes, we would be lost. And Prabhupada said even there were supposed to be wars, that they were postponed because the devotees were going out and distributing books and preaching and spreading Krishna consciousness. And that's all by Prabhupada's mercy. I mean, I know in my life, if it wasn't for Srila Prabhupada, I would be a total mess. But because of Srila Prabhupada, he actually gave us some purpose, gave us genuine life. And, you could feel it. Like, we go out on the streets, and primarily we go out on the streets because Srila Prabhupada went out on the streets. Prabhupada started the movement under a tree in New York City and gathered so many people just by chanting Hare Krishna. So this chanting process is so incredibly powerful. And people warm up to it. People like to see us dance. They come in and spontaneously dancing. And just by dancing, Srila Prabhupada said, Krishna makes a note. He notes that this person has danced. He notes that this person has chanted Hare Krishna. And that gives these people the opportunity not to glide down to the lower species, but to at the very least, to pick up where you left off in the next birth. So if we have something that we can help these other living entities from going to hell, and maybe taking millions of births to become a human again. I won't go much longer, but I just want to say this one thing. Prabhupada had his leading men in Los Angeles temple. They were sitting in the garden, and one disciple said, Srila Prabhupada, how long does it take for grass to evolve to the human form of life? And Rupanuga said, Prabhupada thought for some moments, and he said, 10 million years. And then the devotee said, but Prabhupada, if the grass hears the chanting of the holy name or the pure devotee, how long? And Prabhupada said, immediately. So it wasn't like the grass died instantly, but when the grass dies, it doesn't have to take 10 million years. By the mercy of a Vaishnava, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, it gets a human birth. And from that point, it just, like Krishna says, in this endeavor, there's no loss in diminution. A little advancement saves one from the most dangerous type of fear. And the most dangerous type of fear is to have this human birth and to misuse it and have to take birth as an animal for, Prabhupada says, could be millions of years. So we all have this chance, but if you want to take it to the next level, then take that chance and help give it to other people that are just waiting. Prabhupada said there's people all over the world that have taken birth just waiting to come into contact with the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. In every nook and corner of the world, there's people ready. And all we have to do is be an instrument, and we'll help those people. And in the process, we're helping ourselves too. So that's my takeaway, that Srila Prabhupada wanted us to go out. He wanted us to preach. He wanted us to help other people. And he took it, like Rukmini said, all over the world. You know, every single corner of the world. People know Hare Krishna now. So all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you. On the movie where we saw how Prabhupada came in, there was nothing here. And now just 60 years later, and all over America, so many devotees and so much going on. That's, amazing. Good. Can I ask any other Prabhupada disciple to share? Bhakti Vinod Prabhu? Haribo. Bhakti Vinod Prabhu, would you like to say a few words? I can bring the mic over to you, or you can come up here. I know Haridas is here, and you're here. Yeah, somehow. We're all here, somehow, right? Very well. Jai Bhakti Vinodji.
Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada. I would just like everyone to understand the magnitude, the importance. This is not just a ceremony. It's not just a ritual. You have to get in a little deeper, because don't forget, here's the Murti of Prabhupada, but how many temples we've got around the world? I don't even know the number anymore. But there's a Murti of Prabhupada in each one of them. And just like, okay, there's 100 people here, all right, maybe 2. But then in Mayapur, Bangalore, there's so many places, everybody is giving their worship on the same day to the same person. Now stop and think about that for a minute. It's no joke. He's actually receiving your worship from every person in each and every country all over the place. But then some person may say, well, no, I don't accept that, because in one sense, he left the planet in 1977, 48 years ago. So that means if he's doing it in Mayapur, in ISKCON Potomac, in New York, in LA, in all these different places, that means he's beyond time, beyond space. You have to get into it a little deeper. He's actually receiving your worship. He's actually knowing everybody personally. And it's no joke. So therefore, it's real. You have to understand that whatever relationship you have with him, whoever you are, you have to make that connection, because this is the person that can solve the problems, starting with you. So for me, just like today I'm wearing these camouflage things, because I came out of the military and I ran into Prabhupada. And so therefore, bye-bye military, hello Hare Krishnas. okay? Because this is definitely for real, and that one is just like, no. All right? Jai Shri Radha. Madan Mohan. So all I'm saying is, then take it to heart that this gentleman who went on that Jaladutta for us, 2 heart attacks, and Prabhupada said the pain, if it occurred again, he said he would probably die. That, like, for example, we're coming to the temple, we're getting here, we've got our family, but nobody has experienced any heart attacks. If he endured that heart attack, for who? Us. Then let me do something to deserve him taking that pain for me. We have to reciprocate. Simple as that. Everybody is going to do it in their own way because I am me and you're you. But the whole point is, whatever you do, make it for real, make it sincere, and don't sweep it under the rug. Do it. Whatever you have to do, it may be an open thing. It may, just like he's a book distributor. He's doing wonderful service. Everybody is not going to do some service. But the point is, you've got a mind, he's got a mind. His mind says distribute books. Whatever your mind tells you to do, please do it. Because this is the person to connect you to the actual Supreme Personality of Godhead, period. And I defer it to somebody else. Now, Lakshmi Van Prabhu, when I walked into the temple back in 1972, Lakshmi Van was there already. So he's my senior. He should say one word or two.
Hare Krishna. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara. So many things to say about Srila Prabhupada. All these devotees are here because of Srila Prabhupada. And we're here because of Srila Prabhupada. First of all, this world is a desert, and it's full of starving and thirsty hearts. Most people live materialistic lives, and during their life they experience so many kinds of unhappiness. And then they try to speculate about where is God, what is God. And the most we can achieve that way is some kind of materialistic religion. And still our hearts are unsatisfied. But in my experience, whenever anybody met Srila Prabhupada, their hearts became enthused because here we saw a living example of pure love of God. To see such a person is to know that real love of God is actually possible, and that to have a full heart is actually possible. And that came from Srila Prabhupada. And that came from meeting his disciples, because in those days, you know, everyone was just full of Prabhupada's Shakti, because everyone was deeply trying to fulfill Prabhupada's mission. So then everyone could get a real experience of bhakti from Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada often expressed gratitude to his disciples. He'd say, "Thank you so much for helping me. I was wandering alone." But as disciples, our feeling is that Srila Prabhupada being with you was the most enjoyable thing we've ever done in our life. Like that, this lady was saying, Sally Agarwal was saying, it was the most enjoyable period of my entire life. Srila Prabhupada was here in 1976, and he said something like that. It was the 10-year anniversary of ISKCON. Prabhupada gave a lecture here, down in the old temple room. And he said, thank you for helping me. And he said, you're all taking so much trouble. And I thought, what trouble? This has been the biggest festival that I could ever imagine. So Srila Prabhupada is kind to accept our service. And when we offer service to Prabhupada, we can think, Srila Prabhupada, I have no qualification to offer anything to you because you're directly a person from God's lotus feet. You have nothing to attain or to fear in this material world. You came only to give mercy. So what right do I have to give you something and tell you that you should accept it? Instead, I'm simply begging you out of your unlimited kindness, Srila Prabhupada, to please accept our meager offering of whatever service we can do for you. And by accepting that offering, bless us, purify us, and maintain us. When Srila Prabhupada was in India, he asked the industrialist, you have so many sons, as Rukmini was saying, just why don't you give me one? And nobody gave him one. And when I was a young devotee, I came to live in the temple, and it just occurred to me that my mother was constantly begging me to come and live at home. And I said no. She was insisting, so I asked her, come and meet the devotees. So she met His Holiness Vishnu Jana Swami, and he told her about Prabhupada and about Krishna. And so after 15 minutes of listening to him, she jumped out of her chair, ran over to him, threw her arms around him, and said, of course you can have my son. So, a lot of beautiful blessings came from Srila Prabhupada, and I think that Srila Prabhupada blessed all of us. Srila Prabhupada blessed my mother, that she could offer someone or something to Srila Prabhupada, and all of us got the chance to offer something to Srila Prabhupada. And because of him, we got a chance to participate in that beautiful, happy festival that is Sankirtan and all of the things that we do that seem superficially to be difficult, but really just fill us with a lot of fulfillment, joy, and the desire to stay and do more. And even though maybe really terrible things happen to us in our life, then we still have something real to hold on to. So thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada, for giving us something real to hold on to. Hare Krishna.
Real. So it's 10 after 8. We're going to invite Haridas Prabhu up. He's the last Prabhupada disciple who is here this evening. We'd love to hear from all of you, but I do encourage you to talk to each other when we're taking prasad downstairs at 8:30 or on the way home, and to share your love and appreciation about Srila Prabhupada and what he has brought to your life. And maybe we'll try to get together another time to hear all of that. Please, Haridas Prabhu. And then after this, we'll do the Pushpanjali. Rukmini Devi will recite, and we will offer the petals to Prabhupada. And then we'll do, we still need to do in the Shringadev prayers, a little kirtan for the final arti. And then we will honor Krishna Prasadam downstairs in honor of Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you. Srila Prabhupada did so many things. The one that comes to my mind just now is that he created a place for all of us to be together as his followers. And as Rukmini Devi said, he wrote that He lives forever by his divine instructions, and the followers live with him. So therefore, we are living, living with him now, which is very nice. I'd like to remember that when Srila Prabhupada left, we all, as Rukmini Devi also said, couldn't be with him personally. Everyone wasn't there, but we were somewhere. I was in Dallas, Texas, and after Srila Prabhupada left, Satsarupa Goswami came back to Dallas, and he related his experiences in about a 10-day or 14-day period of morning talks, which later became put together in a book, He Lives Forever. And I'd like to, I remembered that and wrote a little something as I thought about it, and I'll share that. And that is how he presented it and how I remember it. With gray woolen cloth wrapped around you, even over your head, you sat motionless before us in early morning, speaking about Srila Prabhupada, about his coming and going, who he is, who he was and who we were, who he is and who we are. Where is east and where west? The Swami changed that forever. Finally, as if consummating a monumental historic marriage, the twain had met. Now the wedding party was celebrating, dancing and chanting in the streets, dancing and chanting day and night, as he played the tune, as he guided us, as he loved us, as he gave himself to us. But now, in our mourning, we sat motionless with you, hearing your sober words deeply as they echoed off the walls of Radha Kalachandji's temple, which was soaked with his presence. You gave me a part in helping you publish those talks, and so I Xerox transcribed pages one after another, so that your first published writings for him could appear, and so they did. We learned from them. We were being called to realize for ourselves, he lives forever. And I'll say another short poem called Acharya by Kalakanta Prabhu. When you were pushing BTG in Delhi by yourself and tasting all the grit and stench like everybody else, did Vayu come with cool, refreshing air for you to breathe? Did Indra hold your book bag so your back would be relieved? When the people in the tea stalls said, "No time, I have to run," did Saraswati grace you with a more persuasive tongue? When some untended sacred cow turned sharply goring you, did Dhanvantari bring you herbs and balms till you pulled through? Did you find sweat and heat stroke, ridicule and poverty a blissful cosmic pastime? Or did you, Srila Prabhupada, just push against the odds, a simple, frail, but focused man unaided by the gods? It's easy to say, Shaktavesha, he's an incarnation. It's harder to reach out like you with such determination. When other preachers focus, it can sometimes make them smug. You knew just how to poke us, but with open-ended love. Your sacrificial sweat lives on as loving ecstasy in all your faithful followers who walk in front of me. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hari.
Wow, that was beautiful. So please, a few things before we do Pushpanjali. Get to know these Prabhupada disciples. They are full of beautiful wisdom and personal experiences with Prabhupada. Read about Prabhupada. There's the Lilamrita. There's many books written about Prabhupada by Prabhupada's disciples. Please make that part of your reading. And listen, there's so many lectures on, that Prabhupada has. There's lectures, there's conversations, there's morning walks. So the invitation is that really make hearing from Prabhupada, reading his books, reading about him, listening to his lectures, looking at various videos that are online. Make that a regular part of your sadhana. It's very, very powerful. And Prabhupada is just amazingly, when he speaks, it goes straight to the heart. Good. Rukmini, if you can come up here, Rukmini Prabhu, if you can come up here, and then we'll all stand up and somebody will take that tray of flowers and hand out the flowers, and we will begin the Pushpanjali. Yes, I know. There you go. I'll start with Om Gyana. That's the top one.
Okay, yeah. Om Jnana Timarandasya. I think everyone has to come closer though, huh?
Yeah,
come
everybody
closer.
come closer.
Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitang Savadutam Vaitang Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadhanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratishe Namaha Panchatattva Atmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktyavataram Bhaktyakhyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute, Jayatam Sarato Pankam, yes, Madam Mohan. Sarato Pank, Mama Manda Matergati, Matsarva Swapadam Bojo, Swapadam Radha Madana Mohana, Divya Vrindaranya, Kalpadrumadha, Srimad Ratnagara Simha, Sanasto, Srimad Radha, Srila Govinda Devo, Prestalibi, Sevyamano Smarami, Shriman Rasa Rasarambi, Vamsi Vata Tatastitaha, Vamsi Vata Tatastitaha, Karshana Venu, Swanayar Gopi, Gopinatha Shriyestunaha, Tapta Kanchana Gorangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Rishabhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so we're going to say these prayers 3 times, but you want only once?
Yeah, but just at the end, put all your flowers
Yes.
together. So we'll recite Prabhupada's mantra, pranam mantra.
3 times.
Either way, but we'll all do it at the end.
Yeah, so we won't do it 3 times. We'll do it one time, okay? Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prestaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swaminiti Namane, Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Sunyavadi, Paschatya Deshatarine, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prestaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swaminiti Namane, Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Sunyavadi, Paschatya Deshatarine, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prestaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swaminiti Namane, Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Sunyavadi, Paschatya Deshatarine, Esha Pushpanjali. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini
Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vachata Deshatarine
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna
Hari Bol.
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Gaur Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol,
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Jaya Prabhupada,
Jai Prabhupada,
Jaya Prabhupada,
Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada,
Jaya Prabhupada,
Jai Prabhupada,
Jaya
Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada,
Jaya Prabhupada,
Prabhupada,
Jaya Prabhupada,
Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada Tirubhava Mahamohotsava ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada appearance and disappearance ki
Jai.
For protection, and then we will make our way downstairs. If you have to leave early with your small children, you can already make your way downstairs, but otherwise, stay for Nishingadev.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Nam Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada Lada Dayane. Pralada Lada Dayane. Hiranyakasipurvaksha. Hiranyakasipurvaksha. Shilatankanakalaye. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito nishingo parato nishingo. Ito nishingo parato nishingo. Yato yato yami tato nishingo. Yato yato yami tato nishingo. Ayi nishingo. Ridaye nishingo. Ayi nishingo. Narasingamadim Sharanam Prapadye. Singamadim Sharanam Prapadye. Tavakara Kamalavare Nakamadbhuta Singham. Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringham Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Avakara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Singham. Dalita Hiranyakasipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadri Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Nrsimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya 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 Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Guru Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Bhakti Vigna Vinashana Lakshmi Nrsimhadev Bhagavan Ki Jai Bhaktaraj Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai Kali Yuga Pavana Shishi Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai.
I just wanted to add one more thing. This will be really quick. When Bhaktivinoda was talking about Srila Prabhupada is being worshipped all over this planet, but there was a past time when Srila Prabhupada was going to Africa with Brahmananda and Chaivana Swami, and Prabhupada said, soon I'll be leaving here. And Chaivana in his mind was thinking, of course, we're in Mauritius, we're going to Africa tomorrow. But he didn't say it, he thought it. And Prabhupada said, no, I'll be leaving here and going to Patala Loka to preach. And Brahmananda and Chaivana Swami immediately said, can we go with you, Srila Prabhupada? And he said, yes. Now, we sing in the prayers, your fame is spread all over the three worlds. So So just don't think Prabhupada is here. And then Prabhupada told Chaitanya Swami, don't think you are my only disciples. I have millions and millions and millions of disciples. So all glories to Srila Prabhupada.